Welcome back to the Vibers, the Blue Heart Gang, Gang, Gang. And if you're just getting here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click those notification bells so that you can know every time I go live or when I do another upload. Because now we are in a relationship, and yeah, we got to get into this bullshit.
In my mind.
I'm gonna have to at least once a day start a live off on mute, right? That's what I do. Y'all already know what I'm doing. Welcome back, Vibers. Okay, welcome back. So listen, we are going to get into this mess between Laila Ali and Claressa Shields. Now, y'all know Clarence has been over here crashing out for the longest, and I have to say this because I know Clarence has a tough fan base and all this stuff. We understand the talent that is Claressa. We have nothing against Claressa, but Claressa has gotten on our nerves, okay? So y'all know that there's been a back and forth now. Well, not really a back and forth, but Layla has like kind of taken this stance where she's going to set the record straight and all this kind of stuff. So she has responded 2 times now with the part 1 and a part 2. Claressa came back and tried to somewhat mirror what she's doing. Let me just set this premise first, okay? Can we just call out the fact that it is so obvious to most of us that Claressa is attempting to destiny swap with multiple women. We've already seen her do it with Remy Ma, right? And let me explain this because a lot of people think that if you're critical of another woman, that just means that you're just a hater. Now, sometimes you do have people who just don't like people because they're that bitch, right? But that is not the case over here. Okay. I recognize that Claressa is an excellent boxer. She's the most decorated boxer. Right now, she is doing the damn thing, right? But she's also simultaneously doing other kinds of weird things. Okay. Now, when we think about what's happening, like let's start with the her and Remy situation. That's destiny swapping, right? Destiny swapping is when you try and mirror someone else's reality or their life and switch places with them, right? There is also a spiritual context to this that I do want to explain, and I'll give you a little bit of insight onto that. One of the reasons why you don't want to destiny swap, especially if you don't know what you're doing, is because if that is really your intention, and some people do it from a very intentional space, right? Some people, they might just mirror you because they want to be with you, be you, but some people do it on a level that is so deep you do not even understand. You would never believe how many people are into like occult stuff and are really taking this destiny swapping situation to the next level. Put it like this: when you destiny swap with someone and you don't know anything about them, you don't know what it took to get them there, you don't know the protections that they have in place that put them there, you don't know why they have the life that they have. Just because you swap spaces with them doesn't mean you swap everything, okay? You don't know who prayed somebody into position. You don't know who sacrificed somebody into position. You don't know if that position was supposed to bring them harm. But when people destiny swap, they risk a whole lot of stuff, right? So most of you guys know that Remy and Claressa at one point were actually cool, to the point where Claressa used to rely on Remy for fashion tips. There were many inboxes that was sent to Claressa. I'm sorry, sent to Remy from Claressa where she's saying, "Hey, I don't know how to dress. I don't know how to wear this. Could you tell me how to model this? What to wear? How to pose? Where to take these pictures?" She was literally, you know, for me, that could be a harmless thing where another woman is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do that." There's nothing wrong with that, right? But when you look down 6 to 9 months later, and that same woman that wanted your fashion sense and your fashion expertise is now dating your husband. Well, that's another thing for another. That's a whole nother level, right? And it's not just the dating of the papoose; it's the whole, hashtag Black Love, which was very synonymous with Pap and Remy. So now it's her and Pap, right? Which I not strongly, they're not gonna work out. They're just not, for multiple reasons. I'll talk about that on another video, right? But now she's with the guy, right? And now she wants to be the Black Love representation, and she wants to be a rapper like Remy, and she wants to be a weird rendition of a fashionista, kind of like Remy is, and it is giving really, really strange and weird. So yeah, so we're watching this happen, and now we're watching her kind of. I've noticed if Remy takes a certain type of picture or she's getting a lot of praise for it, Claressa takes a similar thing. Whenever Remy's being recognized for something, she either tries to diminish it or she comes through with her own version. And so now we have this situation with Laila Ali. I have got so much to say, but I'm going to save it for in between the reviews. If you're just getting here, this is going to be a reaction, which means I am going to play videos and I'm going to respond and react in real time. And I'm going to read some comments. I'm going to read some super chats. So I encourage you to watch both ladies' platforms on your own and get your own thing. But this is like this is a group effort because we are a community over here. Okay. So we're going to get into that. But before we get started, I need to know if we have any birthdays in the house. Let me know if we have any birthdays. I'll be reading the chat. I hope everybody is doing good. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you're watching the playback. Don't forget to hype the video if you like it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. And let's go ahead and get you guys introduced to a sponsor or two. And then I'm going to come back and check for the birthdays and anniversaries, and we will move on from there and get into the content. Okay. But before we even do that, we do have some rules, okay? We got some rules.
Yes, and I am using a speaker. And before I go live right now, after I'm finished with this video, I want y'all to know, from now on, if you're commenting something weird, rude, disgusting, or you're just being mean and trying to call me ugly and chopped and stuff, coming at me, coming for me in my live or something, or in the comments on one of my videos, you know what I'm doing? I'm just going to block you because I'm tired of it and y'all are getting on my nerves. It's because I'm not the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4. Not even the 5. It's not the time or the place. I get paid to do this stuff. You do not. Let's not do this. Because I hate to block people's accounts. It gets on my nerves. And I bet you it's going to get on your nerves. So keep your comments. If they're rude, keep them to yourself.
This product is so important because not only is it produced with care, but it actually has proven results. There have been over 10,000 units of this sold. The company name is shareabutters.com, and this was developed with love by a woman who simply wanted to help her beautiful daughter as she recovered from the devastating effects of cancer, chemo, and radiation burn, and has helped many others with fading stretch marks, eczema, and many other skin issues. Check out the website as it has tons of other valuable products. Check it out. There will be a link and a discount code pinned in the comments section of this video. Now, girl, you know we don't gatekeep over here. Get yourself over to LanoShopping55.com right now. And I mean now. Look at this price point for this cute outfit. Have we not been looking for a shop that, number one, is owned by a Black woman, but number two, actually has cute and affordable clothing? Yes, look no further. Honey, I was so shocked when one of our Vibers showed us the website. I was like, yo, How come we don't know about this stuff? But look, I'm putting you on, check it out. And when I tell you there is not a piece on there that I would not rock or buy for someone else. And the prices are amazing. The fashions are right on point. And what I really love about her shop is how inclusive it is. And when I say that, this is what I mean. You know how like all the sexy clothes are usually for the skinny chicks? Not on Lano Shop, honey. On LanoShopping55.com, even the plus size baddies get good looking gear. And the price is still right. Make sure you guys head over there because listen, free shipping on orders over $50. And honey, you're gonna wanna spend more than $50. And you can actually get on the email list for an additional percentage off of your order. You cannot beat it. Baby, look at those jeans. I cannot wait to put these hips in those jeans. Head over there. Let me know what you guys think about it. LanoShopping55.com. There will be a link pinned in the comment section.
In my mind.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this mess. All right. So it doesn't look like we have any anniversaries or birthdays, but I still want to say, look, I still want to wish somebody something amazing. Okay. I don't know who needs this, but keep going, sis. Keep going, sis. You right there. You're gonna be all right. Something may not have worked out recently. You may be a little bit disappointed, but if you keep going and do not faint, okay? That's what the word says. If you keep going, okay, you are going to receive it, okay? Keep going. So, speaking of keep going, let's keep going and get into this mess. So, we're going to start from the beginning just so we can have context because we got time today, okay? So, let's go ahead and play the first part where Laila is basically responding to the constant disrespect of your girl Claressa.
There has been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing. And people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm gonna give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
No, come on, we ain't gonna do
No,
that.
that is right.
Come on, Layla can rumble though.
and Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she
Okay, so I need to stop right there. And here's why I'm going to stop right there. Saying that she's just Muhammad Ali's daughter, okay? I'm going to tell you why that's jacked up on many levels. Again, she has never won the amount of fights that Layla Ali has won, right? She was never trained by who she even is saying is the greatest. That's just disrespect. And believe me, even though I'm Gen X, I'm an old lady or whatever, granny, whatever you want to call me, I'm not that older chick that has to son younger women. In fact, I cannot stand to see older women always trying to belittle or check or put into place a woman just because she's younger, less experienced, or from a different. I can't stand that shit. Okay. I cannot stand it. And do not let these old bitches son you. Okay. Said, and I'm saying this as an old bitch. Don't let an old bitch son you. Um, but this is different. And I also think that part of the problem is, Clarissa's daddy wasn't shit, right? Clarissa's daddy wasn't shit. So she doesn't understand the honor it was for Layla to be reared by the greatest. She don't get that. She don't have no respect for that. As someone who's, her daddy was in the streets. her dad was out there in the streets on that shit and all this kind of stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Shut up, Aaliyah. Y'all listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something, Aaliyah. Don't think you can't take your ass to the wall. Okay. Aaliyah be trolling me about being an old lady. If I tell Aaliyah I forgot something, do you know she was sending a granny emoji to me? Y'all, it ain't right. She need to be on the wall. But let's see what Miss Flintwater got to say.
She would have knocked Laila oh so pretty ass out.
So
Oh, can we stop at the oh so pretty? I'm sorry. I didn't know that was coming. We see what the problem is. We see what the problem is. And keep that in the back of your mind because we're going to have to come back to that. Yes, she's oh so pretty. Absolutely. She sure is. And what? Okay. And what?
this right here is the consequence. Now, I have been busy working on other projects that required all of my time and focus, which is why I'm just now saying something. But honey, I have made the time to address this. So today, the bad guy ain't getting away. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics a second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. Now at the time, I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her.
Okay, so Laila, the legendary Laila, daughter of Muhammad Ali, flies out, asked to do a story on Claressa Shields. A hater ain't doing that. A hater is not doing that. But let us continue.
Now this is just a shortened version of the 6-minute piece that aired on CBS in 2016. 21-year-old Claressa Shields is as confident as her right hand is powerful. Soon, Claressa will be heading to Rio for the Olympics to try and do something that has never been done before. I sat down to talk with her about changing history and being a positive spark for her hometown. You should have heard the story by now. The one about a kid from Flint, Michigan who has gone toe-to-toe with adversity and stands undefeated.
But I'll always go back to Flint and help.
I know that when I was fighting, any of my struggles that I had to overcome or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me because after I boxed, that was my ultimate high, and I felt like my life was perfect for at least 2 weeks. So
Claressa's father, a former underground fighter, was passionate about boxing.
he went on to tell me that Muhammad Ali, his daughter, Laila, took after him. And he's like, and my dad, he says it to this day, Layla's a bad girl. He says it all the time. He said nobody in our family took up boxing. I thought when he told me that, he was telling me to take after him.
Claressa beat the odds to win gold in 2012. When the Olympics start in August, she'll try to be the first American boxer to win back-to-back gold medals. Everybody's gonna be fighting you harder. Everybody's gonna be trying to elevate their game. They're gonna be running harder, they're gonna be training harder, they're gonna be dreaming about beating you. How are you preparing for that mentally and physically?
Honestly, I've learned how to beat every fighting style. Tall girls, short girls, girls my size. Cause I'm like, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty great, I don't know what I would do.
You're supposed to feel that way about yourself.
Yeah,
like
I
you wouldn't have been able to get to this level if you didn't feel that way about yourself.
Yes.
I don't know about you ladies, but I have absolutely no doubt that Claressa is going to win gold again in the Olympics. Women's boxing wasn't even in the Olympics when I was boxing,
right.
So I'm like, do it for us, because she's in the weight class I would have been in. So
Yeah.
I'm like, go get it, girl, go get it. There's a lot of women who have been training for a long time, and nobody knows who they are. So the Olympics just really gives them a platform and something to strive towards. I didn't even fight amateur because I was like, I can't go to the Olympics. Why should I do that? I wanted to be in control of my career, but it's so great to see these young girls coming up. You got 9-year-olds now and 10-year-olds, and they're inspired by people like Claressa. Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges that I faced fighting at 168, where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going down in weight somewhere around 148, where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat.
Now, okay, so a lot of people I saw in the comment section took exception to to this part, right? And again, I don't think Clarissa looks bad, right? I mean, them thighs look real familiar to me. They look like my big meaty ass fat thighs, right? So I'm definitely not against it or whatever. But I do think that when she says trim the excess body fat, it is because, she's showing, we've never seen Layla out of optimal physical condition when she's fought, right? And while this is cool when you on the block, you know what I'm saying, on the beach, on vacation as a regular person like we are, but as a boxer, you have to it is a little bit less toned than most boxers are. And Layla was always ripped. So maybe that was really her opinion. Trim the excess body fat off because I'm sure it does kind of affect you differently. You know what I'm saying? Um I don't think that was shady. I think that was professional advice. Yes, Clarissa looks great. There's nothing wrong with her body. We love the curves, right? But how your thighs look like mine, I don't know. Cause I'm just saying. She said, "Hey, big meaty thighs. Look, I got them big meaty thighs. I got them same little dimples. Okay, I absolutely do, and I don't give a damn. Okay, it right. Shay Love 313 says it puts you in a different weight class. It does. But I do think that you can be heavier and be toned as well. But she said excess body fat, and people took exception to that. I don't think she was body shaming though.
And get into elite next level shape. I pointed her in the right direction, and I had high hopes for her. Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not aware of her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. Now,
That's true. Did you guys see that when I think is when Angel Reese won Athlete of the Year? Was it Angel Reese? Someone won Athlete of the Year or something like that. And she was like, I thought you was supposed to have this or have that or be, I should have won. Like, I thought that was so tacky. And can somebody please, baby, where is Papoose? This is how we know Papoose ain't shit and is really not as invested in this relationship as she is, because Papoose is 74 years old, baby. He knows what she's doing is wrecking her chances at longevity. The position that Layla is in right now at 47, like I was saying the last time we talked about this, Clarissa's not going to have those opportunities unless she cleans it up and cuts the bullshit really, really quick. Why isn't he telling her you talk too much? Stop saying shit like that. The reason why Layla can get all these brand deals and get these contracts and not have to enter the ring and still, carry on millionaire status is because she's marketable. And part of being marketable is being personable, knowing when to shut the fuck up, having some sort of social decorum, which Clarissa has none. And it's a shame because that is something that can be taught. She could be taught that. And I'm trying to figure out why Pap is not at the very least recommending her to somebody who is like a social strategist or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're the name people say when it comes to women's boxing. You're the face they know. I want that to be me." Now, looking back after everything that's unfolded, it seems pretty calculated now. Like she was waiting for the right moment, the right excuse to finally do what she'd already made up her mind to do. I mean, that's how it feels now. She told me she saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her and she took it personal. Fast forward to 2018, I was promoting my cookbook, Food for Life, and went on The Breakfast Club, a national show with millions of listeners. I did a 36-minute interview, and when the topic of boxing came up, I actually mentioned her and made positive comments. Then much later into the interview, I was asked about the possibility of a
Hey,
comeback.
Acme.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a heavy bag hanging in my. I just turned 40.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
I know. I just turned 40. I can't believe it either. And because I think of my healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time,
Can we just say that this interview was 7 years ago and this woman has not aged? Like, what the hell?
could pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
How did you and your husband argue? Because he can't, usually they say, you could say something slick, but with you can't say that slickness.
You was on the Food Network's Chopped.
Yes.
And you won.
I did a couple times.
So what brings you more joy, winning in the ring or winning in the kitchen?
I just like to win, period. Definitely boxing is my first love, and, cooking is something that I'm super passionate about.
Gotcha.
It'll be a part of my life forever. I'm not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens in due time. You got Claressa Shields now, who is an Olympic champion. She's a young black girl, came out of Flint, Michigan, lived a hard life, went through a lot. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. Women's boxing is getting some good attention.
Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis. But this was her response.
I watched the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. I have so much respect for her, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, I'm just like, nah. And, I just feel like, she gave props where it's due, but, she also spoke on how, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. When it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. Me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. Even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now. Fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in 4 fights.
You know what's crazy about this? She's not responding to actually what Laila was talking about. Like, she's literally someplace else with it. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And can I say, shout out to Acme Listening Incorporated. Thank you so much, Muffin. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for gifting your friends. Thank you so much for participating in Operation Green Chat all the freaking time. Okay. I appreciate you so much. Okay. We got Nada Lynn, who was gifted a membership. Beauty is her name. Miss Gigi. TY Roll with OCOV. And Tawana D was gifted a membership. Okay. Welcome to the channel, baby. We are in a relationship. Go ahead and drop your blue gavel. Okay. Thank you guys. Enjoy your gifts.
You can say, oh, the competition isn't there, and this girl wasn't that. But like I did it up in 4 fights, and so the girls that Laila Ali fought wasn't that great either. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen, and if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble, we can go. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna step away. Like I respect her and everything, but you're not gonna come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. I just don't like the disrespect. And it's my last video too about this. I never used her name to try to be like, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like, she talking about she come out of retirement, she just gonna beat me if she decided to.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional boxer and who was supposedly looking up to me, for her to think that I would even call her name in a conversation about me fighting or making a comeback was silly to me. Especially since I had literally told her that I retired from boxing because I didn't feel inspired or challenged anymore by the level of competition that was available to me. We had that talk.
And and my whole thing, y'all, is this girl, Laila was retired. Okay. Laila retired in 2007. Clarence was 12 when she retired. 12. Just really think about that. That's like, Do y'all know how strange that is? I retired when you were 12 years old. You're now an adult, and Layla's almost 50, and you want to call me out because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what is wrong with this girl? Shout out to JMM55. Thank you so very much for supporting the platform. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you so very much. But yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy.
So I learned a lot about her character and her mindset. She took what I said out of context and made it all about her. I decided I was no longer going to invest time or energy into her. But she, on the other hand, she took it straight to social media, started comparing her boxing skills to mine, making negative comments about me, and pitting herself against me in a fight. A year later, I was doing press for my show Homemade Simple on OWN, so I went on Sway Universe, another syndicated national show with millions of listeners. We were talking, he asked me about boxing, he asked me about her, I said positive comments as usual, then he plays one of her visits.
Are you watching women's boxing today?
Oh yeah.
You like Claressa?
I do. I think that she's a talented fighter, and she has the opportunity right now. The stage is set, so now she just has to kind of do her thing. I
talk about Homemade Simple, airing Saturdays 9 a.m. on the OWN network. Okay, it's an incredible show. I had Claressa here, right? I asked her who did she think would win and you against you in your prime and her now. And this is what she said.
She's not cut like me. She don't take the challenges. Like, she didn't fight against Ann Wolf. I fight against the best and beat the best. And if Laila Ali was to come out of retirement, I beat her too.
That's not anything I haven't heard before. First of all, she's supposed to feel like she's the greatest.
Absolutely.
But just because you think you are doesn't mean you are.
Okay.
I like to support and uplift people, and I think that on your way up, just do your best not to disparage those that have come before you. First of all, she could never beat me.
Okay.
Let me just get that straight right now.
You want to get that straight, Laila?
Let's get that straight right now.
Okay.
And not simply because she's not strong enough, okay, because I would definitely knock her out, but because she's not talented enough to beat me. There's a sweet science to boxing. The reason why you have not been able to knock out the opponents that you've already faced, I can totally see it. Why? But maybe if you would have been a little more respectful, and I'm not talking about thinking you can beat me and call it that, do all that. I'm talking about just trying to, she didn't do this, she didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't respect her as a boxer. I only respect her as a businesswoman. I've heard her say that before. I was always there for her because she's a young black girl from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, Flint.
And I want to help uplift her because that's the Ali way. I am successful in so many areas outside of boxing. Boxing is not what defines me. There's always going to be another girl. But I tell you what, when I offered her to spar me, that definitely was a check right there to see. Let me see what kind of heart she has. You should come whoop me just for bragging rights. And she didn't take me up on that offer. I said, okay. And let's put this in context. I'm only talking about this because you're asking me.
She's done a ton of interviews since then, and she's always saying I disrespected her. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade, and of course, she's twisted the story over the years and taken my comments out of context. Now, according to her, I just started talking.
I keep trying to tell people, Clarence ain't took them comments out of context, okay? It is the freaking Flint water. Like I said, there is no amount of lead that could be in your system that is safe. And I'm dead serious. This is not even a joke. I don't know if it's CTE, if it's the water, or a combination of it all, but there's a disconnect there because it's like Laila says one thing and she hears 15 other things. And for some reason, the people around her are not telling her how ridiculous she is starting to look and sound. And it's getting worse. Her response made it worse, y'all.
Talking about knocking her out just out of jealousy. Now you've seen what I said, what she said, how this started, and you can see she pitted herself against me in a fight. Now I know some of this younger generation may not be familiar with me, but I've never been one to just talk about things I can't do. When I said that I would knock her out back in 2019, it wasn't any different than what I've said to anyone who's challenged me in the past. You can go back and look at tape on me. That was not just talk for me, it's what I did. TKO, KO, it didn't matter. I was gonna stop you. It wasn't going to a decision. And if you didn't belong in there with me, I was gonna get you out of there. That's just facts. That's not disrespect, that's boxing talk. Back then in 2020, I did get to a point where I was ready to get back in the ring and show her why, even though she is talented, I said it back then and I'm saying it now, but she could never outbox me. High-level promoters did reach out to me directly, and we had some serious conversations about me making a comeback. Now, of course, she was never even involved in any of those discussions. Then COVID happened, you know how that was, and it all went away, and I left it alone. Now, here is just a small glimpse of the narrative that she's been building over the years.
But I feel like Laila Ali has always been kind of envious of me. I'm just so accomplished in women's boxing, and she never got that due diligence and that respect.
Do y'all see how this man is looking at her? Laila is jealous of her, and Laila never got the due diligence and the respect. Is she for real? And that's the thing, like, Papoose, Papoose, where are you? Why are you letting this girl be on social media all over the place looking like a damn fool? Like, this is crazy. He must be securing this bag from her to get to pay child support to Remy or something. Because, baby, what's happening?
So to see me getting it kind of pisses her off. So you look at who she fought. Her biggest test was freaking Vonda Ward and Christy Martin. And Christy Martin weighed in at 140 pounds, and Laila Ali was 160. Like, how are you making matches like that? So Laila Ali is a hater.
I don't know if you guys could see that, but she lied. Christy weighed 159 and Laila weighed 162. So that was a miss. That was ridiculous. And let me tell you something, Goddess Mimi. Goddess Mimi, do you want to go to the Wild Muffin? Cause yo ass been going at it. She been dragging Claressa since before this stream got started. I know I'm gonna end up putting you on the wall. Okay? I know you're going to the wall because you ain't got no damn sense. None.
That's it. Nothing but her being a hater and her being, envious of my success and what I've done for women's boxing. And she feels like she deserves that credit because everybody kind of give it to me now. And I think that she's like.
And let me tell you something. You know what? Let's go ahead and put Goddess Mimi ass on the wall. Cause baby, look, I saw it too. She do. It's giving Evander Holyfield with a weave. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not proud of the fact that I can see Evander Holyfield whenever I look at this child. It's not her fault. It's not even my fault that I see what I see. I just see it. But Goddess Mimi, this is what you can do with your just girl. You got to go to the wall. Just go. Just go.
No, let's address it. Please take your ass to the wall.
In my mind.
Now, learn how to act some sense. Act like you got some sense and you come off the wall. But I don't think you can. I don't think you can, child. Let's go.
But, I'm an Ali daughter, and I boxed before her, and I'm 24-0 with 21 knockouts, and she kind of, want people to keep acknowledging her. She's retired.
She's retired.
And
She's
been
probably
retired for a long time. 43. I hate when somebody else try to take somebody else's shine, somebody else's attention. It's like, she's, nobody was trying to take her attention when it was her time. Undisputed champion. She's never been undisputed. And people are comparing me to her, and she gets offended. When it was like, to me, I thought it was a good comparison because I feel like I box way better than her. And for them to be saying that me and her are equal or whatever, she should have been happy because of that, because they're giving her more props on her skills, which I feel like she didn't really have that much. But, whatever. Yeah, we had Laila Ali. Respect. But she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. I'm going to be different because I'm going to give my blessing, or I'm going to let a girl take her blessing. And what that means, I'm going to fight the girls coming up. And if they beat me, now they're the best. That's how you do it. My advice to Laila is you will look a lot better, and people will stop calling you a hater and calling you jealous and old and bitter. If you actually stop hating, bro, you will look better if you was to support the black girl from Flint who made it out the trenches to where she at now. You will look a lot better. She wants to try to make it still seem like she's somewhat relevant in women's boxing. People give her props about how she built up women's boxing, and I just don't feel the same way. What really did you do for women's boxing? Like, you let it die. You let it die for 20 years, and then I had to come and put in all this extra work to get it to where it is now. I think that wasn't fair, and I don't think that she was as big as a pioneer in women's boxing as she thinks she was, because I would never do that. I would pass the torch.
There are hundreds and hundreds of women who have participated in the sport of boxing over the years. They have all made a contribution in their own way. We don't need to argue over who's done more. That destructive crab in a barrel mentality is exactly what we don't need in the sport. Here she is on a recent podcast explaining how she's passing the torch and that she has created a blueprint for success, which she is now sharing with other female fighters. She says that the number one thing they need to know is how to build their brand.
I actually promote a woman fighter, and I'm giving her all the jewels and stuff that I know, so she can get her big paydays too. It's a blueprint now on how you make $1 million, even if you don't have the gold medals. The biggest blueprint is build your brand.
Oh, she must have forgot years ago she recorded this and said that I gave her the piece of advice that she is now referring to as the most valuable piece of information that you need to be successful. But supposedly I didn't support her and I didn't want to pass the torch.
Laila Ali told me to build my brand, a good brand, and a brand that I want to represent and stand for. And she said have good people behind me who I trust.
So this whole idea that she started about me being jealous because of her accolades and her surpassing me, do you realize that for years, fans have believed that there's so many fighters that are better than me? I mean, they have more titles than me. Multi-million-dollar fights are happening, more money than I ever made, more money than she's making. So I guess if I'm supposedly jealous of her, I must be hating on them too, right? Nope, I actually celebrate other women's success. I have relationships with those women. We have mutual respect. It's all love. She's the only one who decided to make herself my opposition.
I'm sorry, y'all. And I hope that don't nobody get offended by this. And this is low ignorant, by the way. But baby, I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee this. Are we sure? Are we sure that Evander, I mean, because we know who Layla's daddy is. Are we sure? Are we completely sure that Evander is not her daddy? Are we sure? That's all, y'all. That's all.
And she has created this drama and she's kept it going for the past 8 years. People came to know her because she kept calling out my name. She's obsessed with me and she literally cannot keep the name Laila Ali out her mouth. There are people who will say, she's confident, she talks trash. That's what fighters do. Yes, fighters talk. Nobody did it better than my father and me, and we backed it up. I've never had a problem with the fighter saying they could beat me or that they think they're better than me. That's expected. I don't consider that disrespect. But what I do have a problem with is a liar or someone who intentionally tries to disparage me in order to gain visibility and respect. As I mentioned in my interview on Sway, about 8 years ago, I offered her sparring during one of our phone conversations. I was like 40-41. It was just to give her some work. Well, she changed that subject and never took me up on the sparring. So when I mentioned it on Sway, there was a lot of comments from the public because people were surprised that she wouldn't have taken that opportunity. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. So I guess after the feedback and comments that she saw, she felt the need to take it to social media and put out an excuse.
Said on Sway that if I was so tough that I would have sparred her for brownie points. I am a 2-time Olympic champ. Only thing that matters to me is what happened outside of practice. She talking about practice. Take the Ellen Iverson, talking about practice. I don't care about sparring nobody. I'll get in there and spar and work with anybody. All I care about is fighting. But like I said, she don't really care about women's boxing.
So that was her response. Why sparring? It doesn't mean anything. But many years later, she comes up with a whole new story.
And the thing is, she keeps saying, one time she asked me to spar. Let me tell you this. Jason Crutchfield was my eyes and my ears back then, because I was naive. I don't pay attention to stuff. Jason had already told me back then she feels some type of way. Coming in, gold medals and doing your thing, he was like, she feels some type of way. But she's still embracing you though. And I said, okay, whatever. But I had mad love for her though. So it was like, the closest thing to Muhammad Ali is Laila Ali. So I love this girl, you know what I'm saying? And looked into her, took her advice and everything. He said, when we're going down here because she had appointed me to give Muhammad Ali the Liberty Medal in Philadelphia. Now that when she asked me to spar, I said, you want to spar me? And that's when it was more of like a, dang, I hate that coach was right about you. I'm like, okay, well, we can spar when you want to spar. I got my stuff in the car. She like, no, it ain't like that. I'm more about, let's not talk about it, let's be about it.
Now, you know that was a flat out lie. We know that if that were true, she would have said it years ago when it first was mentioned that she wouldn't spar me. There is absolutely no way she would have passed up the chance to tell everyone that she called my bluff and I backed down. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. I did an interview with Andre for his podcast too, before I had a chance to see her episode. And if you go watch her interview, everything's I think this, somebody told me that, no facts. I need you to understand how deep this goes with this girl. Now I know she's on a constant search for validation. She needs to feel important, and it's obvious she's fixated on me. But watch how she sits on The Breakfast Club, the same show she saw me on back in 2018 when I said I wasn't making a comeback.
Uh-oh, y'all. I see this picture of Joe Frazier because Good Judy says she looks like him. And I don't know if Evander or Joe is the father at this point. I'm going to show y'all. Jesus.
Back. She goes on in 2020 after dragging my name for years and acts like she has no idea why I no longer support her or want anything to do with her. Now she knows The Breakfast Club is a national show with millions of listeners, so she's careful not to say anything negative about me because that wouldn't fit the story she's trying to sell. Instead, she plays it safe so she can position herself as the victim.
Do I want to fight a 41 or 40-year-old Laila Ali? No. I want to actually her embrace me, I embrace her, and we build women's boxing to the place where it's supposed to be at. But I don't think she sees that vision. Like she doesn't show me any kind of support. Like I see her all the time comment on this other boxer girl page, Katie Taylor, and always telling her congrats and everything. But then with me, it's like she don't show any kind of respect or acknowledgement. And I'm a black girl just like she is, who came up hard, and I have to been making my way forever. Like I made my own way. I wasn't handed anything. Just about supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? But
I wonder why she wouldn't though. Like, what, did you say something about her back in the day?
I just think that in boxing, she feel like she never got her fair share. I feel like she never got to the point where she wanted to get to, and people recognize Laila Ali, but they always try to say like, oh, she only was big because of her dad, and they don't really give her props on her skills. I'm not one of those people. And then some people say that she didn't fight Ann Wolf, but me being a woman fighter, now I realize that it's hard to make big fights with other big women. It really is. So think about it. Back then, when it wasn't a lot of money, wasn't TV exposure, I kind of can see why her and Ann Wolf didn't fight. But people's story is that she was scared of Ann Wolf, and Ann Wolf would have knocked her out. And that's their story.
3 months later, she takes her mask off and she's back to her usual story.
Well, Ann Wolf, you were a better fighter than her. And I believe that that's where this whole beef started from. That, I spoke on that. She hates whenever your name gets mentioned. She still to this day mentions your name. Say how you were scared of her, how you didn't want to fight her. And I don't believe that for 1 second. And she may have a bigger name, but that's because women's boxing wasn't supported how we are now. If Laila Ali came up in this generation, she would not be known. Nobody would know of her.
This is wild, okay? Okay. So I just saw a comment I wanted to share. I don't even see it anymore. But Good Judy, you know who this reminds me of? And I don't know why, but this reminds me of Black Woman's Fear when she would talk about me. This reminds me, like, just girl, if you don't go somewhere and comb your goddamn head and leave me alone, that's what it reminds me of.
I know for a fact you would have put Laila Ali ass to sleep. So just because you couldn't do it, you didn't have the opportunity because, she didn't want to sign a paper to fight you. I'm letting you know now. I'm going to kick her ass for the both of us. Yeah, we all know Laila Dudley and Wolf. We know that. We don't got to. She know that. Everybody know that. It's literally written, I think, somewhere.
Now, I've seen this before with Ann Wolf, another fighter who used the same playbook. Both of these women have a lot in common in terms of the way they've been able to get visibility for themselves by using my name and making up lies. Since I'm in the season of pulling skirts, I'm gonna go ahead and pull hers too. And I'm gonna do another video on her next. That lie that I would not fight her has been told so many times as if it's a true fact. So I'll be gathering my receipts on her too, since she wants to start talking again. This one is so detached and delusional that she actually praises my father while trying to trash his daughter.
Yeah, we had Laila Ali, but she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. I think it's Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, me. That's it. Learn from Muhammad Ali. If you don't validate yourself first, nobody else ever will. You know, she wants to be like in the public and keep her name tied to mine because I'm young and popping. Right now, it's my time. And she wants to keep her name connected to mine. Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
Now, what father would embrace someone like her or want to be associated with someone like her while she's trying to tear down his very own child? My father was the greatest of all time because not only did he have a beautiful, one-of-a-kind style in the ring, he was also a remarkable individual outside of it. He used his platform to uplift and inspire people. He carried himself with integrity, kindness, and grace. He was someone our community could be proud of, and he represented us well. You know what my father would say? She's a generic wannabe. My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him in the ring or outside of the ring. Now, many of us, including myself, had high hopes for her. I supported her. I sent her off in the right direction, but she has become a disappointment. She is a horrible representation of both the sport and our culture.
Beneficial. Fuck them if they win against you. You don't need them bitches with you. Her man ain't got no balls, so you know his dick little. Not them fake hoes, do it for the real women. I ain't fucked this nigga 2 years still bitching. Girls who think they just so pretty and just because they born light skin that they just all that. That they can come on people's shit talking shit. I look better than you. I look better than you, so you can get off my shit. Light skin, red bone. Yeah, get your funny looking ass up out of here. I don't play with these hoes.
You have a clear picture of what our relationship was and what exactly happened in the past that led to today. Now, do you believe I'm jealous of her accomplishments? So in part 2, I'm going to discuss that $15 million offer and finally answer the question everyone wants to know. Will I be coming back to boxing to get that knockout? If you want to know when part 2 drops, turn on your notifications.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, so Laila has spoken, and that was literally in response to all of the shit talking that Claressa has done. We've been seeing it. I saw some shit today where she was talking stuff about her on Facebook. So it is what it is. So now we're gonna go over to Claressa's response because Claressa did respond to Laila, and we're going to play that, and then we're going to play. Claressa responded yesterday, honey, and Laila responded today. Okay. So Laila was like, yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead and pull that in. Let me cause baby, it's not a game. All right. I'm gonna step away for just 1 second. I will be right back.
Laila Ali has been losing the fight against me for a very long time, and we all know when you start losing the fight, you go below the belt. I really did not want to have to respond to this video because I am not into tearing another black woman down. This is just another example of the older hating on the youth. So now I want to come and set the record straight on what really happened, how our beef started, and how we got here today. So let's take it back to the beginning. 16-year-old Claressa Shields from Flint, Michigan, fighting her way to the Olympics to represent her country. Now, for those who don't know, around this time, I was relatively unknown. I was a diamond in the rough. Mary Spencer was 3-time world champion. She is from Canada. Me and Mary Spencer met up at the Continental Championships to face off. And oh, did I put a whooping on Mary Spencer. For those who don't know, the World Championships and the amateurs come around every 2 years, where all the countries in the world meet at the World Championships, and you have to fight 5 to 6 days back to back to become world champion and hold a gold medal. Mary Spencer did that 6 years in a row. I, relatively unknown, at the age of 16, beat Mary Spencer on the point system, 17 points to 34.
Okay. I'm sorry, but y'all know we got to talk about it. So she literally tried to basically mirror Layla. That's crazy. Hey, Dr. Pat Gora. Dr. Pat says she betting on Claressa. Go ahead, baby. So she like, is she like, what is happening here? She came back to mirror her. She still got the gold chain on, so she tried to, clean it up a little bit. She's got on more clothes than normal. So let me see. Maybe she went to New York and Company. Is New York and Company still open? Let me stop. I'm just saying, this is really interesting. I see she's trying to yes, she is trying to address her the same way. So I guess she's matching energy. I guess that's what she's doing.
After that, interviews flooded in from all over.
And one of them is boxer Claressa Shields. She just finished her junior year at Flint Northwestern, and while her classmates enjoy summer vacation, she'll be competing in the world's biggest stage.
She has to be one of the potential feel-good stories of the London Games.
American Claressa Shields has the potential to stand out from the crowd. At the age of 17, she was the youngest boxer to try out for the national team. And Shields hopes to qualify for the London Olympics by finishing in the top 8 of the middleweight category in China.
I always have the highest hopes for myself.
So she was not the first person to interview me. Me beating Mary Spencer put everybody on notice. The young black girl from Flint was coming. Speaking of all the interviews that I did, Laila Ali came to the Olympic Training Center where I was training for the Olympics at, and me and her developed a big sister and little sister relationship. And now I wonder if it was even genuine because she gave me bad advice. She told me to stay amateur and win as many Olympic gold medals as I can because there was no TV exposure and no money for women's boxing in the professionals.
When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat.
That was nothing but her trying to body shame me and discredit me for winning world championships at weight classes in 5 different weight classes, which is...
Yeah, hold on now, Claressa. Are you talking about, I think this is a projection because I've seen Claressa body shame women all the time. Okay, so she body shames women who, like, she's always saying, I'm natural, my body is this, and I get it. Us natural girlies, that's cool, right? But like, isn't that body shaming too? She's always talking about women's bodies and always, comparing her body to someone else and talking about theirs. She does the same thing. Next level, Nina said new teeth might fix that list. I hope, look, hopefully before the end of this year, I'm going to go ahead and get my teeth done. I hope I don't get a lisp because I hate the way it sounds. Because look, y'all already know when I have an edible, I have a lisp and I hate that sound. Please tell me. Aaliyah, did you get a little bit of a speech impediment temporarily when you got your veneers? Let me know.
Which is 154, 160, 168, 175, and 175 plus. I went against her advice, and I was the first woman to make $1 million in women's boxing. Before this interview on The Breakfast Club with Laila Ali, me and her were very friendly. This is what ignited the entire beef.
You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. I mean, it's still not what I would have wanted. I would have wanted more because I have a big picture in my mind. It was great.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun, shits and giggles?
Money right, Laila there and night. I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
She claims that I took this out of context. And one thing I will say, she wasn't just saying that I wasn't good enough to inspire her and to give her a challenge. She was saying that all the women who were currently boxing could not give her a challenge. The problem is that I am the only one that says something. Now, coincidentally, I'm not the first woman athlete that she's done this to. Let's rewind again and take it back to when Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports.
Are you a fan of Ronda Rousey?
I wouldn't say that.
Before it was me, Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports. I mean, this girl was arm-barring girls in less than 30 seconds. She was viral. She was making hundreds of millions of dollars in her field. When she was on top of her game dominating, Laila Ali became jealous. And instead of her embracing Ronda Rousey, she started during interviews.
How does she determine the jealousy though? Because I remember like some of the little snipes at Ronda, but Ronda was also, but okay, two things. Boxers talk shit about each other. They talk shit. I mean, this is Muhammad Ali's daughter, right? So that's to be expected, right? But Ronda Rousey also was talking shit to people like didn't she say when she calling out like Mayweather and stuff like that, like Mayweather, like she wanted to fight these men, like she was a little disrespectful,
Telling everyone how she would beat Ronda Rousey in a fight because she was too small and the size of her daughter. Play the clip.
Do you think Ronda Rousey, would you be able to take Ronda Rousey?
And no woman can beat me, period.
No woman.
No woman, period.
Not even Ronda.
Of course not. She's too much smaller than me anyway. She's like the size of my daughter, my 3-year-old.
Laila Ali had been retired for years and still entertained conversations about coming out of retirement and fighting Ronda Rousey. Laila Ali was bluffing. She was bluffing then, and she's bluffing now. This is what she does. She ties her name to whatever combat sports woman is popping, and she says that she'll beat them in a fight. And then she plays victim once they respond.
So Layla's tying her name to boxers. So Layla's name isn't big enough in boxing. Muhammad Ali's daughter's name isn't big enough. She needs you, like, girl. It's that fucking water. It is that fucking Flint water.
So we all know that Ronda Rousey was on top of her game. Once Ronda Rousey lost, Laila Ali went on a celebratory tour laughing and celebrating the fact that Ronda Rousey had lost her first and only fight.
Me trainer was like, train Ronda Rousey. I'm like, but I thought you thought she could beat me. What happened?
So would you do that?
You can't train somebody's chin to take a punch. But for the right amount of money, yeah, we could probably make.
What does Ronda Rousey need to work on?
Oh, where do I begin? You know what I mean? I think we need to understand that in order to be the best in the world, you definitely don't ever get beat up like that in your prime, period.
No, it was pretty bad.
I remember you said the best in the world don't get beat. You still feel that way?
No. I said that?
Yeah, I thought in reference to Ronda Rousey.
You don't get beat the way she got beat. You know, to just get 100% taken advantage of in the ring and just look like a little rag doll in the ring, that would never happen.
Now, this is the thing that people wanna overlook. She's supposed to be so classy and supposed to be so,
She supposed to be so classy. She supposed to be Muffin. She is though. She is Muffin. She is. Amen.
Love everything. But look at these interviews here where she.
Or we talking about Layla, so I should say Ameen. Okay, mashallah. Mm-hmm.
She's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda, talking about how you can't be a great and lose that bad in your prime. She just taking a dump all over her, and Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So, I don't know if you guys know, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship, and if there is any competitive spirit, it's not in a disrespectful way. The way that Laila Ali celebrated Ronda Rousey's loss was disgraceful, and it showed that she has no integrity and that she doesn't even understand how serious the sport of combat sports is. So I'm playing these clips so you guys know it's not just me that Laila Ali hates on. She hates on any woman in combat sports who starts getting more notoriety than her. And Laila Ali video.
I'm about to call the police because who let this child make this video and did not correct her grammar? Y'all just gonna let her say shit like this? Papoose, where were you? Where were you, boy? You need to like, where was Papoose? Remy, you gonna have to turn him loose sometime, cause somebody, whose turn was it to watch Claressa? Somebody, look, somebody, look. Where's management at? I'm calling the police.
She says that I have become a disappointment and a bad representation of our sport and culture. When Colin Kaepernick started to kneel to protest racial injustice and police brutality, it was a chain reaction. The world was tired of seeing unarmed black men being gunned down and killed by the police. Everybody came together to fight and stand united under one slogan: Black Lives Matter. Instead of joining the fight, this is what Laila Ali had to say. Play the clip.
You're black, but we as black people are not calling the shots. We're not in charge. You have to fit in. You have to conform to a certain extent, but still try to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like with me, for example, I don't a lot of times just post that I like, that I might see that are very pro-black, but I won't post it on my Facebook page because I have fans from all races, from all around the world, and I don't ever like to make people feel separate. You know, and sometimes they do, like when you just be like, Black Power, I love my, you know, so it's like, you know, I think it's time to like, I like the all lives matter, or all lives matter, you know, and that's kind of what my focus is, but it's hard, you know, because, you know, you got sponsors, and you got this, and you got that, and you don't want to step on anybody's toes.
You said you don't want to speak out because you don't want to lose sponsorships, and you don't want to upset your different fans. Your father, Muhammad Ali, used his platform to stand up against oppression. To me, it doesn't seem like you're proud to be who you are or to be the daughter of the great Muhammad Ali. For those saying that Laila Ali YouTube hate documentary that she did was classy, that wasn't classy. That was mean girl energy. She was being nice, nasty. She's always wanted to hate on me out loud, and now she's doing it proud and with her chest out to promote.
Okay. All right, Clarence. Okay, so I'm so sorry. My little bully granddaughter wanted to be in here, and she just literally just had a meltdown because she can't stay in here with me. Listen, I think that was a nice try, Claressa. I love to see, like, look, that is the easiest thing to do, is go to pull the race card, the coon card, whatever it is. Yes, Claressa Luther King, Clarissa X, okay, Clarissa Farrakhan, okay, Minister Clarissa, the civil rights leader, amen. Okay, so here's the thing, Clarissa Luther King. First of all, you need to play the whole interview, right? But most importantly, most of us by now, especially if you've been a member of my platform for any amount of time, you know what Black Lives Matter really, really came from. You know where it originated from. You know that that was a George Soros production. So you know that it was organized propaganda, right? You also know, if you were a member of my platform, because I exposed it in 2019, okay, on my original channels, exactly what Colin Kaepernick was actually fighting for, and it wasn't black people. That nigga wanted to keep his job, okay? He also is a sleeper cell. He also was one that used the black plight against us in a moment where we had a lot of energy and a momentum collectively as black people. We were fighting about George Floyd. I'm sorry, not George Floyd. We were fighting Philando Castile. We were fresh off of stuff like Trayvon Martin, all of those things that had happened within the media, and black people were literally getting together and pulling together. And Colin Kaepernick came and took a lot of the momentum off of that fight and turned it into his fight. We know that now. Okay. I understand that your slow ass don't understand that and get that. And the most important part that Laila was displaying right there was something that you don't have, and that's decorum, right? And it's really interesting that you're upset with her for saying that all lives matter when the segment before that, you were complaining that she was talking shit to Rhonda. Rhonda is white. You don't think Rhonda's life matters because she's white? So why would you say, because she said all lives don't matter? Sure they do. And yes, I know all lives matter has been used as a weapon to silence and deflect, but at the end of the day, we have someone who understands who she is, has her lineage, has her legacy intact, and is just trying to school your dumb ass on how to be socially aware. When if white people put up something that says white lives matter, we gonna respond real ignorant. Okay, it just is what it is. So in business, there's a certain way you have to carry yourself, and to sit up here and act like she was wrong for saying all lives matter when you just got done defending a white life in the segment before, this is what lets me know it's the fucking water. It is that guy. That water in Flint is deadly. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, let's go.
A YouTube channel. Now, in Laila Ali hate documentary, she says that her dad will
hate documentary, y'all. A hate documentary.
Never want his name tied to mine, and that he did not like the fact that I called myself woke. Well, lie detector test tells us that that was a lie. Play the clip.
Call yourself the GOAT, that's fine. It's flattering. You look up to my father. We both thought that was cute. That was sweet.
5 minutes later.
My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him in the ring or outside.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Laila, did you?
So how can she use that? Because Laila did have her, introduce Muhammad and, all of that kind of stuff, may he rest in peace, all that kind of stuff. But you weren't disrespecting his daughter actively when he supported you. So she was right. Do you think for 5 minutes that Muhammad Ali would have supported your disrespect of his daughter, which is his legacy? Nah, he would have clowned you like the hood booger that you are. Period.
You forget that you told me that your dad was flattered and proud that I called myself the GOAT? Laila Ali says that I lied about what transpired when she asked me to spar.
Now, you know that was a flat out lie. We know that if that were true, she would have said it years ago when it first was mentioned that she wouldn't spar me. There is absolutely no way she would have passed up the chance to tell everyone that she called my bluff and I backed down.
Here is a clip of her telling the same story that I told when she asked me to spar.
You got that from
I
your
offered
daddy?
Claressa sparring. When I talked to her, yeah, she reached out to me when she first won the Olympics, and we talked, and I gave her some advice. And I said, hey, you ever want to spar? And she's like, you want to spar me? I was like, calm down.
Yeah. Found that when she asked me to spar, I said, you want to spar me? The lie detector shows that that also was a lie. We're going to keep playing these clips. So now that we both see how the story of us sparring happened, if it is still on the table, if the offer is still on the table, we can still spar, because we all know that you're not ever going to get inside the ring and fight against me. Nobody thinks that Laila Ali can beat me in a fight. She doesn't think that, and neither does our peers. Play the clips.
Claressa Shields. I don't think there's really any question that she's the best women's boxer today.
Of all time.
All time. You putting over Laila Ali?
All time, and I love Laila.
Wolf?
All time.
Coal miner's daughter?
All time.
And she's the best fighter fucking in the world, bro.
Yeah,
There's nobody better than Claressa as a woman, bro. I don't give a fuck who you name. Nobody is coming close to her.
Yeah,
2 Olympic gold medals, bro. So if that's the case, if this girl was a man,
if she was a man,
bro, you know how much support niggas will have of her. Like, the whole boxing world to have crazy support, because she'll be Floyd Mayweather, bro.
There's no comparison.
Damn.
At all time. I love Laila too.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody coming close to Claressa.
Right.
2-time Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
3-time undisputed.
Yes.
Well, how many weight classes she did? 6.
Even Muhammad Ali's grandson says that I am the best female fighter of this era.
Here with my boy Nico Ali Walsh. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling amazing. How about yourself?
Everything's good. Claressa Shields came out today with a 15.
Another point. This is Muhammad Ali's grandson. Laila Ali's nephew. Biracial nephew. Muhammad Ali's biracial grandson. Do you really think that all lives don't matter to a family that is multiracial? Of course you don't, which is why you defended the white girl before you started talking about that. That is Muhammad Ali's biracial grandson that looks more white than anything. So we really gonna sit here and act like she was wrong for saying all lives matter? For real. Let's go.
She had a $15 million check in her video and told Laila Ali, step up, we got the money. What are you thinking of it? Is she reaching? Is it a potentially a good scrap? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I don't think the fight is going to happen. I know Layla's significantly older than Claressa. If the fight did happen, I think it would be amazing for women's boxing. So that'd be a fun fight to see.
Is Laila even in the gym? Is Claressa just trying to reach to get to a different level? Is she trying to use Laila?
Oh, no, Claressa doesn't need to use anybody. Claressa is the greatest female athlete of my time. Like, there's no question about it. Her accolades speak for themselves.
Even Muhammad Ali's ex-wife, your stepmom, said that I'd kick your ass.
I'm Khalil Ali. I'm Muhammad Ali's wife. I just gave her a picture.
She said, I know.
I want to back her up. Okay. I'm backing her up. Okay. To kick Layla's ass. Okay.
She's too old now. She retired a long time ago. But if she can't turn down that bag, I understand $15 million. At the end of the day, man, and she got punching power, right? She do what she got to do, man. Get that bag and go on about her business. But hey. But I got Claressa Shields. You asking me who I got?
Yep.
I got the GOAT.
This is why you can't go anywhere, because we need those direct takes.
I got the GOAT.
This is why she's mad. Now, I have to put this out there. Laila, for you to do a 28-minute hate documentary, a smear campaign on my career, I have to give it to you. You are officially the most obsessed with me.
How is that a smear campaign? How is that a smear campaign? Hold on, I need to take a screenshot from my attorney for this case that I literally just filed. Hang on one second, guys.
Claressa Shields.
Claressa. Watching Claressa Shields.
Okay.
We're not even in the same weight class. I know that she walked around heavier, but that would not happen. And not simply because she's not strong enough. Okay, because I would definitely knock her out. But because she's not talented enough to beat me. You're talented. You can box. You can.
Oh, shit. Look.
Okay. Is it possible one of the biggest fights of all time, the matchup between you and Claressa Shields, could ever take place? Is it possible? Because that's what people want to know. What would it take?
It's absolutely possible. Is that she is just not physically big enough or strong enough to handle me. And she does not have enough skill to keep me off of her.
Want to do it.
Is she an inspiring opponent?
Is she? Of course, absolutely.
So now
especially
it's a matter
that
of,
mouth.
So now it's a matter
especially
of
that mouth.
If that
because
mouth
when it's
raises
personal,
the purse high enough.
When it's personal, that starts a fire, right? And when the money's right and it makes sense, then why not?
In 2020, when I was dominating all these weight classes, Laila pulled this exact same stunt. Now we're in 2025 and I'm more viral than I could ever even be happy about being viral. And now here she is doing it again, trying to tie her name to mine for relevance. When asked about fighting me in 2025, this is what Laila Ali said.
Claressa Shields. There's rumors that you're gonna come back and fight her. What you got to? Everybody's talking about it, or in the boxing circle.
The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me about this. That's all.
Turkey has that money. Turkey's gonna set this up. I know it.
Unless somebody calls me and says they have it, we're not even gonna have a conversation. I'm not trying to come back and fight, but if someone offered that kind of money, I would actually have to think about it.
My team win records. All of us came together and we had 15 million in escrow for Laila to have a fight against me. Listen, the spices aren't selling and her TV shows are doing very bad.
Wow, the shade, the shade, the shade, the shade. Like her spices aren't selling and her TV shows are doing better. I would like to see you get a show that is not on freaking not Tubi. What is the other app that what is the little app like that baddies and stuff like that is on? Like if you get something commercial, honey, I would be surprised. You better wish that you could get the kinds of things that Laila has afforded to get for herself. But ain't nobody, yeah, Zeus. She would be lucky to be on Zeus. Okay? Baby, you better make this YouTube thing. And then here's the thing, because I've heard her talk about how like you don't make any YouTube money or whatever. Honey, all you gotta do is, I know why you don't make money for a 300,000 viewed video. I know why you only make like a couple $100, because you don't know how to monetize, right? And because the way that you go live, like you're not gonna make money like that, dummy. Like you better make that shit work for you though.
I was trying to put some money in her pocket and help her defend her legacy.
Do you hear her? I was trying to put some money in her pocket. Let's check net worths real quick.
I got great news for you. We got the 15 million. But instead of her being happy about that, she got angry. And then, as we have to go on this hate documentary, you're gonna show a clip of me getting dropped in a fight that I won unanimously? I have won every fight, unanimous decision or by knockout. Laila, you won a fight majority decision, and it's even one that should have been a split versus Jackie Frazier. She said I'm a bad representation of our culture.
And you are. Laila's worth like 11 million. You're worth one. You're worth $1 million. Stop it, ma'am. Stop it.
Let's clear that up. I've never been in jail. You can't find a mugshot of me. I've never tested positive for PEDs or anything. So therefore, how can I be a bad representation of the sport? You know who is a bad representation? Alicia Baumgartner, who she has pictures with. So my message to all the young girls and young boys coming up, never let the people that came before you try to discourage you, put fear into you, and make you not want to chase your dreams.
So when did that happen though? Laila literally introduced you to her father, introduced you to the world in a lot of ways when she interviewed you when no one even knew you. Now, like, this is what I hate about narcs, how they change the story and make themselves the victim after they started, talking shit or doing their thing or whatever. This is a weird projection. Like, this girl is crazy. Back in 2020, Laila did an interview stating that I accused her of being a bad businesswoman. Being the bigger person, I reached out to clarify that I never said that, okay? Still being bitter, this is how she responded. Okay, let's see. I'm writing this. Let me rewind it so I can read the whole thing for you guys. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so let's read this. And I'm so glad that Claressa didn't choose to read this because she can't. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and read it. All right, she said, Laila says, I'm writing because I heard you on Sway, not mad because I said what I said to anger you, because you have angered me with your words. I respect you and I'm happy you started the flame, but I've never said you weren't a good boxer or not a good businesswoman. Oh, this is her saying this to Laila. Okay, I guess. Um, So I feel like with all the media and etc. that we had a miscommunication somewhere. I don't know when or where it started, but I know I used to text and keep you up to date and ask for advice because let me go ahead and play it. Let me see. Where was I at? Because I felt we were cool. So some of your words hurt my feelings, and that's why I responded to you the way that I did. Okay, so that was what Claressa said to Laila. And Laila, and then she said we could always talk or meet up and figure it out. Let me see. Make sure I got it all. Okay. All right. So she's gonna show this. She says, and I'm happy you started the flame, but I've never said you weren't a good boxer or not. Okay, she played that one already. I don't know why she did it again. I thought she was going to show Layla's response. Okay, so she says, so Layla responds and says, you're a real punk talking all that shit publicly, but trying to make nice in private. You remind me of Ann Wolf's coward ass, but at least you're willing to get in the ring. I'm going to teach you a whole lot of things that will make you a better fighter in person. Lesson number 1, learn to shut your mouth about money being there because it's not there until it's in an escrow account. You can keep acting like you're the victim if you want to, like I came for you and called you out, but we both know you ran your mouth about something you don't really want in your heart. I can see right through you and always have. So just be patient and hopefully you will have the opportunity to try to knock me out, even though you're not even hurting these soft girls you have been fighting, let alone knocking them out. Okay? Keep believing your own, keep believing your own hype. Child. By the way, I won't be going back and forth with you for reasons I'm absolutely sure you wouldn't understand. But just keep hyping yourself a fight on the smaller outlets because you're good at that. You already know if the deal is right, it's going to happen. Then she says, I wrote this after I hurt your feelings on Sway, but the energy is the same. Trust me, I'm not scared of you. Never have and never will. And you can't teach me shit, Layla. I felt bad because I seen how the Ann Wolf comment almost made you cry. But this wasn't written to squash beef. You said on Sway that I said you weren't a good businesswoman. And I never said that. I've said I'm a way better boxer than you, and I meant it. I hope you come out of retirement because I'm going to show you how the game has changed and why I say I'm the GOAT, sweetie. See you in the ring soon, hopefully. I fought bigger outlets than you already, the Olympics. My next fight purse is 400,000. 3 weight divisions. On paper, my resume kills yours. You're a bitter punk. It's a shame. So they didn't have women's boxing in the Olympics when Layla was boxing, by the way. And victim, you are in worse shape mentally than I thought. You're playing the victim, crying about your age and saying I took something wrong that you said. I'm trying to remember the part where Layla cried about her age. Okay. She says, you got used to everyone bowing down to you that soon as I said you were wrong, you went crazy. You are not the best female fighter. You weren't then, and you sure as hell aren't now. I won't be responding to you. You want to shut me up, then fight me. Nobody gets brownie points in sparring. Okay. Bitter Betty,
I
she
won't make
says.
you guys wait long for my announcement. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing next in my career and when I will be back in the ring fighting to defend my heavyweight undisputed championship.
Okay. So, wow. So now Layla already responded. So now we're going to play Layla's response to Claressa 6 hours ago. And by the way, Layla's views, she just started this channel. And that was part of what Claressa was saying. You just want to start your YouTube channel. Layla didn't even monetize it. And she was at monetization status the first day that she made the video, by the way.
Just as I promised, I'm bringing you part 2 of Set the Record Straight. Now, if you haven't already watched part 1, I suggest you go back and do so you'll understand why I needed to go to these lengths to lay the truth out once and for all. For years, I've been characterized as unsupportive, as being a hater, envious of her success, and as someone who disrespected her so badly. Now, in part 1, I discussed the past, what was said from both of us on both sides. I showed the brunt of what came out of each of our mouths. Nothing was twisted, nothing was taken out of context, just the truth of what was said. I also showed how she even tried to use my father's name to discredit me. Pretty unthinkable. Hopefully, you went and watched the full versions of the clips I shared in part 1, just as I suggested, because they're on YouTube. Now I want to take just a second to thank those of you that left supportive comments. Even if you judge the situation wrongly and see the truth now, I understand how it may have seemed. Multiple people have reached out to me privately, sharing their experiences, and are so relieved that someone finally exposed the truth about how she operates. Now, I know you know my style by now, facts versus feelings. Like I said in part 1, I'm not about the he say, she say. I've stayed focused on the exact allegations that were made against me, and I showed you the directly related receipts. Now, part 2 is about the present. She always repeats the same tactics, just in a new situation. We're dealing with the same person who plays the victim card, makes up lies, deliberately twists my words, and creates a false narrative. Look, she fooled the public before, so she feels like she could just keep it going. Now, before I get into part 2, let me just remind you who we're talking about here.
All right. Shout out to my girl Next Level with Nina for the super chat. I definitely appreciate you. I definitely do. Thank you so much, Muffin. Um, let me see. Where did she go? Let me tell you something. Goddess Mimi. You've already been put on the wall. I don't know why you keep acting up. Okay? She said, I hope you'll be getting back child support from Evander. Now, Mimi, why would you say some shit like that? Okay? For all you know, that's Joe Frazier's child. Matter of fact, in the chat, I need y'all to tell me, okay, if Claressa looks more like Evander Holyfield, drop a blue heart. If she looks more like Joe Frazier, drop a white heart. Okay? But you take your ass to the wall, Goddess Mimi. All right. Let us continue.
Jump right to it since you brought her up. Laila Ali.
I always knew that Laila wasn't intimidated by me, you know. And she may have not ever said nothing, but I always knew that she questioned who was the better fighter between me and her. Because I have a better amateur background and now a better professional background. So I know that she always kind of felt a little threatened, but from when I first met her, I always knew that, you know, she don't love boxing.
What does being the GOAT mean to you?
Of course, it got all the accomplishments and, you know, all the belts and everything like that. But it also means, like, to me, just making a blueprint for the women that's coming up behind me, the original way. You know, there's a lot of girls who use boxing to promote their with their modeling career, to be in a magazine or something. But I use boxing for boxing, and it promotes. And boxing is my brand. It's just like I'm not trying to use boxing to promote something else to help me with something else. I'm really building a blueprint where I can tell other girls, like, listen, if you do this, this is what can happen. Yeah. If you build your brand like this is the direction that it can go. If you build it like that, it can go this way.
I feel like I just want to get, like, somehow, if it can be figured out, what is it that the brands look for in an athlete to where I get the $20 million payday to represent, you know, one of these big brands or something.
Not this girl taking all of Layla's advice. Then we already saw she tried to format her response just like Laila. And I got to show y'all this video that she dropped where she literally is talking about how she's trying to change how boxing is viewed, how you can be a beautiful, attractive, feminine woman and be a boxer. Like, I'm like, girl, Laila already showed that. Like, you're undoing. Does she realize that she's literally undoing Laila's legacy and Laila's hard work at showing that you can be a fierce fighter, be beautiful, be sexy, and feminine all at one time. She's undoing that with her hood booger antics. Like, girl.
Like that, you have to have like a, I don't know if it's a certain look or a certain tone or a certain, you know,
I think if you
story,
just continue to be you.
Of course, being like a great person, being a great role model. Marshall a bitch, that's it. She's a bitch, and she's gonna keep being one. She's a hater. She wish she was me. She wish she had the belts, the gold medals, and she don't want to be me. She wish she was black and everything. It just...
Not you talking shit like you said that Laila was, girl alive. Ooh, wow.
Sad.
I tried to tell her in the past, brand deals don't come from pretending to be someone you're not. They come from character, integrity, and consistency. That's the work she needs to do. So while she's tried to paint my success beyond the ring in a negative light, the truth is I've accomplished what I set out to do in the ring, and I moved on to build a life and a career using all of my other talents. Now she's acting as if she's an expert on how to build a brand, mentoring others on it as if she has all the answers, when in reality, she's still trying to figure it out for herself. And she's doing this because she wants to figure out how she needs to look, how she needs to act, how she needs to talk, who she needs to become in order to make some money and get some brand deals. Okay, let's get into this. She's decided to once again call me out with a $15 million challenge. She's using the same playbook as last time, taking something I said, twisting it, and turning it into a false story, then going on a PR campaign to promote it. Let's take a look at how this all came about. I recently co-hosted a historic women's boxing event on Netflix, the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano trilogy fight in Madison Square Garden. Millions of viewers tuned in, and there were great matchups on the undercard. Now, after the event, I did an impromptu interview to discuss the fighters and how electrifying the night was for women's boxing.
Both of the ladies have so much to be proud of. They're both great warriors. And this is a big night for women's boxing. And hopefully it's just the beginning.
And she threw a 1-2 every single time, but that 1-2 was going like straight and she was already over here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But I know where you're going with it. We can easily pick either of them apart, right? But the thing is, I think Amanda was trying to just be busy. I'm almost done, guys. Last question.
Yeah. Last one at Claressa Shields. There's rumors that you're going to come back and fight. What? Everybody's talking about it.
You know what rumor I heard? The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me.
Turkey has that money. Turkey's going to set this up.
I said, unless somebody calls me and says they have it, we're not even going to have a conversation. I'm not trying to come back and fight. But if someone offered that kind of money, I would actually have to think about it.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, what I didn't find out until later was that the questions that I kindly answered were going to be turned into a calculated headline created for clickbait. Not the first time this has happened. Ever since I retired from the boxing ring, I've received offers to come back. Everything from exhibitions to fighting whoever I want and me naming my price. I've never really been just sitting around seriously trying to come back to boxing. I have a TV hosting career. I speak on stages around the globe. I have successful companies that I own. I'm a wife, a full-time mom. I'm raising teenagers. I'm busy and fulfilled. During that quick fight blog interview, I addressed the rumor that the interviewer brought up. He had his facts wrong, so I corrected him and I said I wasn't trying to make a comeback. But if somebody offered me $15 to $20 million, I would have to think about it. Who wouldn't? That's a lot of money. Yeah. But saying that I would think about it and saying I would actually do it is not the same. Words matter. After he posts the video, he starts sending my business partner text messages, literally trying to negotiate a fight without my knowledge or consent, while at the same time my team was being inundated with a barrage of emails and text messages and calls from her team trying to make a fight. Now at this point, it started to feel like a money grab scheme. Next thing you know, about 6 days later or so, the same fight blog puts out the fake check video. You can go watch it on YouTube.
What's up, Laila? You trying to fight? I'm the GOAT. I bet 15 million.
She's 47.
Right now. Where you at? Speaking of GOAT, have you tried my new GOAT seasoning? It's knockout blends with spices and herbs. Have you guys seen my new cooking show? Episode 2 drops on Friday. Meet me in the ring. Honey, already got one of those. You know what? I'll find somewhere else.
Now that was really kind of super shady, especially since Clarence's boyfriend is married to Remy.
Right. Who want a piece of me? Oh, my ears are ringing.
That was hilarious when I saw it, and that's exactly what's been going on. And you know what? Rosie, that super talented young lady, is a comedian. You can go check out her Instagram page. Now, that was her perception of the situation. She's actually a fan of both of us. You can go to her page and see that. She wasn't taking sides. She's just doing a funny reenactment of what she perceives to be going on. And this is exactly why it's so important to me that we carry ourselves in a respectable manner, because young girls are always watching us. So while all of this foolishness was going on, I was overseas on summer vacation with my family. She was once again calling me out, twisting the story of what I said on the Fight blog. Then she says it was another golden opportunity.
I was very shocked to still see her even speak of me, speak of me, speak of me.
There goes the twist. I did not speak of her or mention her in that interview.
I've been let that dream go of fighting her a long, long time ago. But when I seen that, I'm like, you know what? Another golden opportunity to make a fight with me and Laila Ali. Got it? If she want 15 million, we got 15 million. Take this 15 million and come get your ass whooped.
Do you think she even wants to fight you, or do you think that she just threw that number out there just to save face?
In a way, sometimes I think she tried to price herself out, but it was like, it's better if she just don't say anything about that. You know, it's better if she say, oh, I'm retired, I'm the best, you know, be on that high and mighty high horse that she's always on and stay on that. When you get off that high horse and now you realize that you're normal, because you are, she wants to try to make it still seem like she's somewhat relevant in women's boxing.
Oh my gosh, I didn't mention her. I clearly said I wasn't interested in making a comeback, okay? But she's out here running her own storyline once again. It was never gonna stop. Let me just say this. There is no way in my prime, with all the accolades, that I'd be trying to prove that I'm the greatest by being obsessed with fighting a nearly 48-year-old retired fighter who's been out the ring almost 20 years, while in the same breath claiming that she's irrelevant and she's untalented, while simultaneously coming up with $15 million for her within a matter of about 6 days. Please make it make sense. So she continues on her one-woman show, proceeding to try to bait me out of retirement. She's on social saying that she's the greatest now and she's gonna put me on my back.
And she's tagging her. It says, what a great weekend of boxing. Really motivated. Now at the real Laila Ali, I'm the greatest now. Be careful what you ask for. You know I've been wanting to make you eat your words. You're not a better boxer than me. And at 175, I'll put you on your back. Been ready for you. You know what's crazy? Like, have y'all noticed like it's a lot of niggas that like to hype her up and drag Laila for being 47? Like, who does not want to age? Like, who does not want to grow older? Isn't that crazy? Like, hyping her up.
She's going on national shows spewing her usual narrative and saying that I said that if she came up with 15 million, I'd return to boxing.
You come out and say, oh, the rumor I heard is if Claressa got 15, 20 million, then I got your 15 million. Now what?
You call it a bluff. You call it a bluff, Claressa.
Yeah, and we are still waiting to hear a response.
What would you be proving by fighting and ultimately beating her if you went in there with her?
Just be proving to her that I'm a better fighter than her. That's all that really matters to me.
Do you realize now that this girl has been shadow boxing this whole time? I'm not in this with her. She has something to prove, not me. This is in her head.
It's about the disrespect that she gives toward me. And I worked my butt off to get to where I am without having a famous father to get to where I am and to raise the bar for women's boxing. That's my issue with her. And if we were to fight each other in our primes, I would have still won. I would have knocked her out.
That everyone knows this woman has not been able to bust a grape up until now. It's actually hilarious to hear her talk about knocking me out. She'd be better off saying she'd outbox me or she'd run me out the ring or something like that. But knock me out? Imagine that. No, really. Imagine that. Oh. Look, I get it. She's obsessed with my knockout percentage. But at this point, she needs to stop promising these knockouts and focus on her own strengths, because that's not one of them, and that's okay. So I ignored her PR stunts the same way I always have. They never got a response from me regarding a fight. So then she decides to throw a couple more lies into the story.
Hey Claressa, how you doing today?
Laila and her representatives has told us no. Like the answer is no. She doesn't want to fight, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that she's scared. I'm moving on with my career, and I'm happy that she said no. I really didn't want to have to put the pause on her anyway. You know, she wants to be like in the public and keep her name tied to mine because I'm young and popping. But I'm Claressa Shields, and right now it's my time, and she wants to keep her name connected to mine to keep, you know, selling whatever she's selling.
You know, clout thing, using your name.
It's absolutely clout.
Do you think she's scared to fight you?
Laila is scared to fight me, and I would be scared to fight me too. I get it.
Now she knows I'm not afraid of her. Nobody is. AB fights at 130 pounds, and she was willing to face her. Franchon gave her a tough fight and has been calling her out ever since. She's 1-1 with Marshall, who's eager for a rematch. Gabriel's dropped her and has been calling her out too. Shadeja Green would be a great matchup, and she's on her hit list. Even MMA champion Chris Cyborg wants to step into the boxing ring to face her. 54-year-old Chevelle Hallback has been issuing challenges. Nobody is scared of her.
We're in a generation now where the women fight each other.
Yeah.
We don't duck each other. And back in her generation, that's all she did. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's y'all champion.
Oh, but later that same day, wearing that same outfit, she says this.
She hasn't responded, and I feel like the answer is like a no.
All right, I know the lies. She never got an answer. And I know they wanted to create this narrative that I was scared and she lost track of her message points for the day. She says I've been using her name to stay relevant because she's popping and I just want to keep my name attached to hers.
Laila Ali, 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 Laila Ali is Laila Ali, Laila is Laila Ali. And Laila Ali. Laila Ali. But Laila is Laila. Me and Laila have Laila Ali. Laila Ali.
And I didn't respond to her stunts at all. Y'all know? Now you heard her say out her own mouth she was moving on, that I was irrelevant. She didn't need me. She had so much going on, so many fights, so much money to be made. And I thought, great. But here she comes again.
Laila is first on my list. That's what I want first. Okay. But me and Laila has had some back and forth for some years now. And to me, there is no question about who the greatest one of all time is. It's me.
It's you say. Age difference, obviously. 17 years in boxing is a significant age difference.
I think even Laila Ali in her prime couldn't beat me in the fight. And I think that she is great. She is great. You know, I think that she can fight. She's a bigger woman than me. She's taller. Actually, she's 5'11". I'm 5'8", 5'9". And she has, I mean, to say 24-0, but her record is 24-0, 21 knockouts, I believe. My record is 17-0 with, I think, 3 knockouts. Listen, Laila, it's not no hard feelings. I just want to know who the best is. And the only way to figure out who the best is to fight. We ain't got to keep talking. You don't have to keep.
Now, let me put this in perspective. This was before she lost the hope that I might fight her. So she tried to speak more respectfully and polished, and she did what her team told her. But then 2 months later, the mask came off again.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen.
Did she turn the money down?
She did. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Laila can rumble though.
She can't rumble like Ann Wolf. I said who's the best from that era. Ann Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila oh so pretty ass out. Laila oh so pretty ass out.
This girl, like the levels of disrespect of this, like, girl, if you don't sit your lead window licking ass up, like, girl,
That's the truth.
Now that was the real her. I've never been concerned with who was regarded as the best or the greatest or who had the most accolades or titles. I really haven't.
You've competed
on so many high levels. What's it feel like to be an undefeated champ?
It feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime I think you work hard at your skill, you guys know how that is.
Absolutely.
And to be able to reach that level, you know, that peak of being one of the best, it's an amazing feeling. So,
or the best.
Yeah.
Or the best.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm happy just being one of. My father always said he was the best. That wasn't really my thing. My thing is I want to be the best in my weight class. I want to be undefeated, and I want to be a world champion. And those things I attain. So call it what you want to.
Amen.
So, yeah.
I will say, becoming a WBC champion, like my father and so many greats before him, was an accomplishment that I will always be proud of. Every female fighter who wins a WBC title receives her belt with my face displayed on it.
Ooh.
Now that truly is something special to me. So, did her...
Wait, hold on. I don't think we realized how much tea that was. Okay, hang on. Hang on.
Champion, like my father and so many greats before him, was an accomplishment that I will always be proud of. Every female fighter who wins a WBC title receives her belt with my face displayed on it.
So, Claressa, you got a belt with Clarissa's face on it. That's why you mad, Muffin. That's why she mad. Okay, that's a flex. That's the flex. Okay.
Now that truly is something special to me. So, did her plan work? Did she make me mad enough to come out of retirement after 18 years and start training again to make her dream of fighting me and having a big payday courtesy of Laila Ali come true? Absolutely not. After years of blatant lies and vile disrespect, making unsolicited negative remarks about me, questioning the legitimacy of my boxing legacy, and having the audacity to cross the line by disrespecting my deceased father, trying to use his name to discredit his daughter.
Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
She will not be rewarded with the opportunity to share the ring with me or anything else. There's your answer. When I was still active, I held boxing in the highest regard. It's what I did full time. I put all of my energy and focus into it. I wasn't distracted, trying to do a little of this and a little of that. I was locked in, dedicated, disciplined, mastering my craft. I had the best of the best, excellent trainers, including Buddy McGirt, Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who all held me to a very high standard. Boxing is in my DNA, and it will always be my first love. Now, after all this she's put me through, I would never partner or collaborate with her on anything. Now, I've seen some comments from people saying, she's been so quiet, you know, ever since I put out part 1. Maybe she's finally gonna take some responsibility and try to do better. But in reality, she's been running her same predictable playbook, misleading and deceiving the public. Her team has been busy trying to clean up the mess she's made over these years. They're literally running paid online ads with old footage of her signing her first contract and touting the Bible. Will she be taking any responsibility for her actions or just keep pretending? The bottom line is, she crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. She showed me and the world who she really is. And like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
That part.
Now, just as I told her many years ago when she reached out to me for advice and I gave it to her freely, I encouraged her to build a brand on integrity and respect and surround herself with good people.
Laila Ali told me to build my brand, a good brand, and a brand that I want to represent and stand for. And she said, have good people behind me who I trust, Laila Ali.
As a boxer, I was unapologetically confident and I believed I couldn't be beaten. And I proved it every time I stepped into the ring. As an entrepreneur, I've consistently carried that same mindset forward through the brand and the businesses that I've built from the ground up. Let's get real laser focused for a moment. It all started back in 2018 when I went on the Breakfast Club to promote my cookbook. Her record was 8-0 with 2 knockouts. Now remember, she and I were on good terms at the time. I even mentioned her and said nice things about her. Now, during the interview, I was asked, would I make a comeback to boxing? I said I wasn't planning on making a comeback, and I didn't feel there was anyone out there who would give me a real challenge. That's how I felt. Well, she heard that and got in her feelings because she felt that I should see her as a challenge.
You know, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, you know, I'm just like, you know, nah. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen. And, you know, if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble. We can go. You're not going to come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. You know, I just don't like the disrespect. I never used her name to try to be like, you know, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like she talking.
Is it not insane that she keeps talking about how she's disrespected for how how her disrespect is responded to? Like that's weird to me.
She come out of retirement, she just gonna beat me if she decided to. And people think that I started to beat her.
How did the relationship sour?
She goes on this interview and says, oh, I would come out of retirement, but there's no one good enough to give me a challenge.
So the one thing we both agree on is how this started. Now let me tell you why I didn't see her as a challenge. At the time, I had been retired from boxing about 11 or 12 years. 24-0, 21 knockouts, 5 world titles, right? I literally retired from boxing because I ran out of competition. It's public information. I would have to be inspired to make a comeback, and I didn't see anybody out there that I was inspired by, including her. I know she's an Olympic gold medalist, but let's not forget, in Olympic boxing, you're going up against amateurs, not professionals. I saw her fight as an amateur, and I saw her fight as a professional, and I didn't feel that she would be competition for me. In fact, you know what? Let her tell you exactly what I mean.
You mentioned you would knock Breakus out.
Yes, I would.
You only have 2 knockouts in 10 fights.
Yep.
Why is that?
Because women only go 2 minute rounds.
All of the women who have been collecting knockouts got them in 2-minute rounds.
Damn, like, do y'all realize how significant that is? So in 2-minute rounds, you get knockouts. That's crazy. But she can't get a wow. That's crazy.
That's the main reason. As you've seen from my last fight, me turning pro with only 10 fights, you have to learn how to fight as a professional fighter. And when I came from the amateurs to the pros, I thought everything was the same. I'm like, I'm gonna do the same stuff I did in the amateurs. But training with Coach John David showed me that amateur boxing compared to professional boxing and punching is completely different. Amateur boxing compared to professional boxing and punching is completely different. These last what, 2 years, he has shown me so much. And from when you see my fight against Hammer, we only worked together for maybe 6 months. And then you see my fight with Habazine, just the body shots, how I can pick my shots now, how powerful and sharp I am. All that had to be changed. So when it comes to the knockouts, one, I've stunned every girl I've ever boxed against out of my 10 fights. Toward the end of the round, middle of the round, but when they only have to get beat up for 2 minutes and then go back and rest for a minute, it's not enough time for me to break them down some more.
She's still trying to learn how to put her punches together and fight like a professional. I've been knocking opponents out since my pro debut, my very first fight. I have more knockouts than she has wins. She started all of this with me because I didn't see her as a challenge for me. Here we are in 2025.
Did we catch that? Laila has more knockouts than Claressa has wins. And she talking about even 5 years ago. Of course, she was not qualified to fight her even 5 years ago, even if she would be close now. But even current day, she's got more knockouts than this girl has wins. Damn shame.
And she's only added 1 more knockout. She's still trying to learn how to throw her punches and fight like a professional.
I think that I'm so good that I'm hard on myself because I should be knocking these girls out. If I can go in there and win unanimous decisions, I'm always asking myself after the fight, why didn't you get the knockout? How come didn't the knockout come? I got all the skills and the power and everything. I just have to figure it out and put it all together.
I would have knocked her out.
I really want to become the full potential fighter that I want to be. Like, I think people now, like, you know, you talking about full potential, you got 13 real titles, like, how much more greater can you be? It's like, I can start sleeping people, you know. I can get some knockouts on my record.
Yet she can knock me out? Now, maybe someday she'll discover her own identity and who she is truly meant to be without riding my coattails or the Ali name. I am one of one, and this lane is closed. I did this all myself. There's no camera crew here. There's no script writer. There's no hair and makeup. It's just me and my iPhone and my ring light. My setup. It was worth the simple gesture of creating a free YouTube page and Instagram page where I can house this content so the truth can live right alongside all the lies that have been spread all these years. I'm not monetizing my pages. This was never about a fight for me. If I would have simply said I wasn't going to fight her in the beginning, no one would have listened to the truth about what's really been going on all these years. I want the same media and blogs and content creators who are exposed to the lies to also see the truth. That's why I released my answer in this format. Thank you for watching and much love to you all.
Okay, so I think she did that. I think she did that. But before we go, blue hearts if you think she did that. White hearts if you think Claressa deserves a shot with Laila. But while you're deciding, right? Let me tell you something, Mimi, with your messy ass, okay? Mimi did this, not me, okay? Mimi did this, not me. I need y'all to decide. I'm going to put the picture on the community wall. Maybe. People might start getting mad. They might start getting mad and saying, you know, they think everything is bullying. But I want y'all to think about it and tell me who is the father. Is it Evander or is it Joe? Who is the father? Okay. So listen, if you are still here, and I hope so, please hit the like button. If you are watching the playback, hit the like button, okay? Do not forget at the end of this video, if you liked it, make sure you hype it so that others can get exposed to it. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming through. And I am going to be checking. Matter of fact, leave it in the comment section, y'all. Do that for me. Leave it in the comment section. I want to know who y'all vote for. Who is the father, Evander or Joe, in the comment section. I see you guys later. Love y'all. Bye-bye.